before we get into today's show, I got a question for you to bounce it off you. After the Lions' epic win and games that took place yesterday and over the weekend, where do you have the Detroit Lions in the power rankings? 1, if you think they're the number 1 team in all of football. 32, if you are a troll. Let's get this show going right now. Today, we're going to get into the Detroit Lions rumors. We're going to talk about the NFL power rankings. Where are the Lions at per big-time media? Over the weekend, major games took place, and it has big effects on the Detroit Lions seeding. The Lions have a real legit shot now at the number 1 seed. We're going to go through what needs to happen for that to occur. We're going to talk about head coach of the year, Jay Glazer, and I got to respond to what he said about having Dan Campbell as the head coach because I thought that was quite intriguing. But first, we do have a game on Saturday, big game here. Lions are still underdogs at 6 points. 52 total over and under for this game, quite a bit of points. And the game will be played on Saturday. Again, Saturday at 8:15. It is a Monday night game on Saturday night, so it's a big game for the Detroit Lions. And that's going to be something for this football team to really get ready for. And we have something to play for. You heard it here. Because big-time games took place over the weekend. So, look, I think the Lions do have a shot to win this game. We should be underdogs. I think 6 points is overkill. I think 3-point underdogs makes a lot of sense. 6 points? Come on, man. It's not like the Dallas Cowboys have been lighting people on fire. Now, they have been at home, but the Lions do have firepower as well. So, look, we'll get into it right there. Who do you got winning the game, folks? DET if you have the Lions winning the game. DAL if you have the Dallas Cowboys. Let's get into these power rankings right now. Here we go, folks. All Lions gave the Detroit Lions the 3rd best team in the NFL. That is up 2 from last week. Bleacher Report, same thing. 3rd best team in football. Bleacher Report, +2. The Athletic here, +1 here. 7th best team in the NFL. Sporting News, 4th best team, +3. Pro Football Network, the exact same, 8th in the NFL. We have ESPN, that's same, the 6th as last week. Yahoo, 8th. And USA Today, for some crazy reason, dropped the Lions, -1 here, with the 8th best football team in football. Look, it's been steady with most of these guys, so I can't really get hard, but I love it when the Detroit Lions somehow go backwards in the power rankings, especially with the loss to the Dallas Cowboys. They lost. The Philadelphia Eagles with a narrow win. 49ers losing. The teams that you kind of have with the Detroit Lions, they're the same type of teams. They're not playing well, and yet the Lions move back a point. That is the power rankings for the media. Again, for me, when I look at the Detroit Lions, I don't really mind if you have it 5 to 7. I think they're still in there. But look, they're on a hot streak right now. They're going in the right direction, and that's where you want. So at the end of the day, power rankings don't really matter. But you want to know what does matter? That is game time. And if you don't like overpaying for sports, you're like me, you like to be conservative, you need to get game time with killer deals, last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. You can stop stressing and start getting hyped for the fun that you'll have. It is easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area, whether that's sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, or whatever, with their lowest prices guaranteed. That is the game time guaranteed, which means you'll always get the best prices. And if you find tickets in the same section in a row or less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. You can get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. In the middle screenshot, by the way, I think it's a fantastic feature of the app. It shows you where your seat is, and if you move your phone left to right, you can see the area kind of like a 3D live photo. So download the Game Time app, create an account, plug in Lions Chat for $20 off your very first purchase. Real easy. You go to the redeem code section, create an account, terms do apply. You got to have an email, plug in Lions Chat for $20 off. So get started right away with Game Time on getting these flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. That's what it's all about. Lions tickets this year, you need to buy it if you're using Game Time here. So download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Let's get into the Detroit Lions path to that number 1 seed. And guess what? Lions, they don't have to do a whole lot to get there, folks. They don't have to do a whole lot. Thanks to the 49ers taking that big O L. The 49ers took an L yesterday, and that was massive. Massive for the Detroit Lions, them taking that L. Why? Because now the only thing that the Lions got to do is really simple. I mean, look, it's easier said than done, right? So all the Lions got to do is win out, and the Lions are pretty much have at least for the number 2 seed, they got it. Now, currently, you look at the seeding. Currently, it actually is. It shows right now Philadelphia. I didn't change it because the Lions control their own destiny. Right now, Philadelphia has the tiebreaker, but if the Lions win out, they don't have the tiebreaker. It's due to strengths of schedule. So I'm leaving this the way it is because the Lions win out. They are the number 2 seed, so they do have the tiebreaker at the end if they win out. That's if they win out. It doesn't matter if they don't. But the Lions can get the number 1 seed if the 49ers lose to one of these teams. The Lions win out and the 49ers lose to the Commanders or the Rams. The Lions get the number 1 seed, folks. They get the number 1 seed. Now, I think they'll wipe the floor with the Commanders, but this LA Rams game is interesting. So if the Lions win this Saturday versus the Dallas Cowboys, holy cow, folks, the Lions legit have a chance at the number 1 seed. They really do. So I got a question for you. Will the Lions get the number 1 seed? Y for yes and for no. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, let's continue on here. The remaining schedule for the 49ers is Washington and Rams. If the Lions do their job, we don't need to worry about the Eagles' remaining schedule. We don't need to worry about the Cowboys' remaining schedule. It's just want San Francisco to lose 1, Lions win 2. Lions sit at the number 1 seed. If the Lions were to get the number 2 seed, they control their destiny again. Even though right now Philadelphia is in that spot, if the Lions win out, the Lions move to that number 2 spot. That's why I'm just keeping it right here, right now. There's really no point. It's a 3-way tie at 11-4. Lions win out, San Francisco loses 1. Lions will have a bye week with the number 1 seed. And all the teams, that are all the takes that the Detroit Lions are not as good as the 49ers, not as good as the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, boy, the tides have changed. Right now, if I'm looking at teams, I still think San Francisco is a great team. They played a bad game. Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions, ultimately 5. But the Lions are right there with the Dallas Cowboys. They're right there with the Philadelphia Eagles. They are. And I got to say, Tampa Bay is surging and the Rams are surging. So, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And right now, the Lions are finishing strong. And some of these teams that you thought were the best are starting to slow down a little bit. They are. Let's go ahead and get into this Jay Glazer thing, and I think this one's interesting here. So I was listening to YouTube on Fox, and Jay Glazer was talking for Fox about Coach of the Year. He says, he was asked about this, teams who have the best record, those coaches should be considered for Coach of the Year. He spoke about the 49ers, Eagles, and Rams. That was the teams that he spoke of. Rams, and you can throw in there the Browns, too. Interesting. He poo-pooed the Detroit Lions. I don't think he realizes that the Lions have the same record as the 49ers. The Eagles have a better record than the Dallas Cowboys, better record than the Rams and the Browns. That was the reason why he shouldn't be. When asked about Dan Campbell, Glazer stated the Lions were expected to be good this year and why they should not be considered. So were the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Cowboys, and the Browns. Now, the Rams were not. The Rams were not to be considered being good. But he literally misspoke. He literally contradicted himself. Again, we go to this. The Lions have the same record when trying to defer from Dan Campbell not being Coach of the Year. You literally do you not realize they have the same record? You misspoke. And the other teams that you did say should be in it, besides the Rams, were all expected to be good this year. San Francisco was expected good. Philadelphia expected to be good. Dallas Cowboys expected to be good. Even the Browns, when the team you mentioned that on there, was expected to be good. So you literally, both your arguments for Dan Campbell not becoming head coach of the year, you literally shot yourself in the foot. You did. You shot yourself in the foot, so it doesn't make a lot of sense, if you ask me, how that one played out. It really don't. So my take is Dan Campbell should absolutely be coach of the year. I don't even think that should be a question. We won the division for the first time in 30 years. We're in play right now for the number 1 seed. And we could likely, look, if the Lions win on Saturday, the Lions legitimately could get the number 1 seed. Legitimately. Even if they don't get it. If the Lions get the 2 or the 3 seed. For the Lions to be in this spot right now where you win the division, we won it with 2 games left. We're right in the consideration with the best teams in football. How can you not give it to Dan Campbell? This is the Detroit Lions. This is not a perennial playoff contending team. This is not a team that's done it. They won it for the first time in 30 years. That alone should get it. And all the people that dog Dan Campbell, you should get it. It's not even and look, I don't mind other people's takes. I don't mind people disagreeing, but Jay Glazer literally contradicted himself on both his points and why he shouldn't be. So if you got a legit point, like the Browns, okay, I can see that. Because, look, they had 4 quarterbacks, I think, injured. They're on Joe Flacco. Now, if you said, man, the situation there because of their head coach that were put in, okay, you know what? I could see that. Same with, like, the Indianapolis Colts. Okay, they lost Richardson. Minshew comes in here, does a good job. The Rams, okay, but they've always been good besides injuries, right? They've always been good. So you contradict yourself. But, hey, let me know in the comment section. Do you have Dan Campbell Coach of the Year? I do. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. With that said, folks, adios.